Well, it's been almost 2 weeks since Cracker Barrel changed their logo, and I can't help thinking about all the social media people who are desperate to see how long they can drag this story out for through videos, posts, podcasts, and anything else. Well, I got good news for them. Cracker Barrel, because of all the negative comments and feedback, have reverted back to their original logo. Now, whether you support this or not, or like the logo that they changed, well, the truth is it doesn't matter, because if you're like most people, you haven't gone to a Cracker Barrel in a very long time, if ever, and you're probably not planning on going whether they change the logo back or keep it the way it is or whatever. You see, fried pork chops and meatloaf just isn't a draw anymore. But what I find really interesting about all this discussion and backlash about a logo for a restaurant no one cares about, is the fact that on Cracker Barrel's website, they pulled down their Pride page, which was a page dedicated to how much they support the LGBTQ community. Found that interesting. They also pulled down all mention of their participation in DEI initiatives, which, whether you agree or not, it's interesting that nobody has said boo about this. Nobody cares. Which brings me to the point of this video, and that being that people will generally do two things. First, they'll post things that they believe can get clicks. That's really all it's about. I mean, the reality is none of these people who talked about the logo really cared about Cracker Barrel even before the logo changed. They're just jumping on the bandwagon to get clickbait. Second of all, people are going to share things that are important to them, whether it be a logo or the DEI or Pride things or whatever else, which apparently they're not that important to them, but a logo is, and it's, well, kind of the low-hanging fruit, and it's easy to talk about. And it's not really that controversial either. But the fact is, if you have a business, what I want you to take away is this. Whether you change your logo, change your policies, change your menu, change your services, whatever it is you want to do, you are going to perhaps get a lot of feedback, positive or negative, or maybe no feedback at all. The point being is you have to cater to your market. And there's going to be a lot of people out there who are not your market, but will not be quiet or shy when it comes to voicing their opinions, as I believe happened with Cracker Barrel. So instead of trying to please all the people who are never going to buy from you anyway, just focus on those who are your actual customers, those people who use you regularly, who think of you first when it comes to whatever you serve and produce. Those are the people that you should be caring about, not a bunch of loud, obnoxious people who are outside your demographic and not going to buy from you anyway. So my advice to Cracker Barrel, by the way, had you given it another week or two, this whole thing would have blown over and everyone would have moved on to some new shiny object. What you really need to work on, not the logo, but your menu. You got to bring your menu out of the 1970s and into this century, 2025. Overcooked green beans and shepherd's pie is not going to cut it for the millennial generation in 2025. That's my advice to you, Cracker Barrel. The logo, the least of your concerns.